All right. John, why don't you pour us a couple there? And I think we need to make a little toast here. All right.
I know where you're going, and actually I have a comment to read from somebody left us a nice little message as a Apple review.
All right. Well, hang on a
second.
hang on a second. Maybe we'll do that after the beginning here. Let's just right now toast to good friends, and we'll move on from there.
Sounds good.
It's time to hit the trail. Lock in those hubs and throw it into low range. Because you are listening to Wheelin' with Keith and Johnny Orange. They're here to talk about 4x4s and everything to do with enjoying the great outdoors. Here's your hosts, Keith and Johnny Orange.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. No, that's
Still cheers to the good friends, but not to
Yep.
this.
Cheers to good friends, but yep. No, that was.
I'm gonna dilute
okay.
that a little bit. I poured too much.
You're gonna delete that?
Dilute.
Oh, I think
Not
delete.
No.
Well, speaking of friends, before we go on to what we're doing, thank you to, you said Kevin? Scott? Who gave you this bottle?
No, it's scotch.
Oh, I thought you said it had a friend that gave it to you.
No. No, we have a friend of ours, or rather, relative of a good friend of ours, left us a nice review on Apple Podcast.
Okay, so...
It's all tied into what you're about to mention. So.
All right. I guess here's the way I'll bring this around. I've said before on the show that I listen to the show at least once for quality purposes after it airs. Usually the day it airs or a couple days after it airs.
Yeah.
And then I rarely ever go back and listen to another show. Almost never. Once in a great while, if I'm trying to reference if we had talked about something specific, I'll go back and work my way through a show a little bit, maybe skip forward and this and that. But today I listened to episode 77, In Completion, which is quite an old episode now. It's a little over a year old. I believe it was aired in July of last year, and not 2021, but 2020.
The bad year.
And, well, as you know, that was our episode, Bernie to Yooper. Bernie Stanaway, the USMC vet that came on and talked to us about all of our wheeling adventures in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And if you're a follower of Wheelin' on our Facebook pages and on 4x4 Talk, then you are aware that Bernie Stanaway passed away kind of unexpectedly. He, great old friend of mine. Like I said, episode 77, we had a great time with him on the show. I listened to it. It was ghostly listening to him.
I believe it.
For an hour. And it was strange hearing his voice so crisp and perky and stuff again. But I wanted to listen to it. I wanted to, kind of listen to some of the stories that we had done. I had a little bit of a tear in my eye. I'll admit that. And it was just something listening to him. He, for folks who want to know, we don't know what happened to him. He actually passed away on his 48th birthday.
Damn shame.
He had gone about a month prior into a kind of a non-responsive state. They thought it was West Nile. It was not COVID or anything. They thought it was West Nile. Then they thought it might be encephalitis. All they know is that his brain shut down, and it could have been something to do with rheumatoid arthritis, which he had talked about on the show, having quite severely, and sometimes that can attack different tissues in strange ways. But they really don't know what happened. He did end up passing away, and so Jen, he's survived by Jen, and then all of his children, Jack and Destiny, and I can't remember all the children's names. I do want to talk a little about Jack on this show, though, for sure.
So he's actually who left us that comment.
Oh, okay. So
it was a 5-star review. So thank you for that, of course, Jack. I'm just going to read your comment.
I haven't heard this.
Then this is for you and everybody. So thank you for the kind words, sir. So his caption is, "Love it. My dad, Bernie Stanaway, was on this podcast. I love everything they talk about. especially listening to the episodes when I'm working on my Jeep. Keep it up, y'all, Jack.
Awesome, Jack. To Jack.
To Jack and to your dad.
Yeah, and to Dad, and to Bernie. You
And
will
the
be
rest
missed.
of your family, of course.
Absolutely. You will be missed. And that's kind of, I don't want to get too somber about it. I just wanted to start out with that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that maybe specifically with this episode, we could talk a little bit about Jack's project.
I like it.
And Jack inherited his dad's, I don't know what year it is. It's going to be a 42 to 45. I don't know which year it is. But Bernie, as he had said on the show, was looking to buy a Ford GPW or a World War II Jeep. And he had called me a few months later. He had purchased a Willys MB,
Nice.
World War II one. Been modified a little bit. I believe it's still on stock axles, but it has a Chevy Iron Duke 4-cylinder in it, old, which would have been like a Chevy Nova type engine.
Yeah.
And then I believe he said it had an SM 465 4-speed manual hooked up to the 18. Some running issues with it. Jack inherited it, and he is working on it in his garage.
Awesome.
And it's a pretty cool looking project. He's going to continue to build it, and he wants to wheel it someday, and he wants it to be, kind of his vehicle. And
Awesome.
Jack and I have actually talked a little bit over the phone through the speakerphone when I was talking to Jen.
Yeah.
And he's pretty excited to be working on this thing. And he's even joined like Willie's Flat Fender Club on Facebook.
Nice.
Jack is, I believe, 14 years old, might be 15. Could have that wrong. But, so great first project for a
Yeah,
young
for
man.
sure.
So what I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit was, oops, that's not what I wanted to do there. I was trying to pull up a picture of it here to show it to you.
Yeah.
What I wanted to talk about was, like, where would we direct Jack? Like, what kind of modifications and what kind of things should he do to not go crazy on this thing, keep it in a budget? Because, Bernie was a budget guy.
Yeah.
We're budget guys. And how could he keep this, get this MB going for a good, like, kind of first wheeler for him in Arizona?
So something not going too crazy, but not, upgrading over stock, though.
Well, he already has. So my first thing was, because Bernie and I actually bounced back and forth about this quite a bit when he had first gotten it, whether or not to keep the Chevy Iron Duke 4-cylinder in it. Now, that'd be a carbureted engine, and it's pretty old technology, but they were very stout, durable engines. They're
Simple.
They're essentially half a 350.
Yeah. Nice.
They were straight 4, they're heavy. Bernie had talked about maybe going to a 4.3 fuel injected, or trying to figure out how to fuel inject the 4-cylinder, which maybe using something like 2.5 Jeep parts or something from Howell Engine Development, something like that.
I mean, you could do that, but you start messing with computers and all that. I mean, if the engine runs, if it's good, strong engine, good transmission, I'd stick with that. Maybe look at more axles, building up suspension, driveline. That'd be where I'd go anyway, so I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Smurf Blue right now.
Yeah.
And
It's sharp, though. I like it.
I know he was just putting a radiator in it, getting the radiator going right on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look to be too hacked up. Axles, I definitely would agree with you there, because
Yeah, I know those old axles were very, a lot of small parts and stuff on them, kind of a
pretty
pain.
weak, and you're also
Yeah.
talking about pretty archaic braking systems.
Yeah, I mean, I'd start with that. The brakes can make it a little safer, stop a little better, a little more efficiently. Axles a little bit stronger, and when you're doing that, maybe look at suspension.
Well, one of the things I was talking to Bernie about was if you want to keep the 18 transfer case, which the Spicer 18 transfer case has the offset drive shafts front and rear like a Toyota Land Cruiser.
Oh.
So they're both offset to the passenger side.
Yeah.
Well, I told him, I says, a set of narrow track Wagoneer axles, Dana 44s,
Yeah.
and if you go with, I think it's 73 and newer, you get the disc brake. They're 6-lug. They're narrow. They're only 58 inches wide, wheel mounting surface to wheel mounting surface. And you get a non-C-clip Dana 44 rear, and then you get the Dana 44 front that is passenger drop. And like I said, the rear is a passenger drop as well. It's an offset rear. And then you get the disc brakes for the front. I mean, to me, you're going to Dana 40. You don't need Dana 60s under this little thing.
No, that's, I mean, even 44s with something like that are probably more than it realistically would need.
Well, yeah.
But you could do so much with that without, going way over the overkill in terms of beefiness and budget.
Well, I know. Like Lucas here, he has 2 sets of those axles that I gave him years ago, and he had offered to give them to Bernie.
Oh.
We had talked about it, and Bernie. I told Bernie that Lucas still had those axles, and I guess shipping just was insane. He was looking at some options, maybe bringing them back when he came up to Michigan or something like that sometime. But hey, maybe we got a wheeler out there that makes trips from Michigan to Arizona and wants to help out this this young kid who just lost his dad, and bring him some Jeep parts or something like that.
I'm trying to think if I know anybody.
Yeah, you never know. And well, I was going to say that too, is if anybody's in Arizona and they really want to bring this kid into the into the loop in the 4x4 world, he obviously he continues to listen to Wheelin. He has my number now. He can call me at any time.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go out and try to visit with him and maybe spend a couple days tinkering on the Jeep with him as well.
Yeah.
But I think that if there's anybody out there around the greater Phoenix area in Arizona that would like to bring this kid into their club or something like that. There. She a wheeler?
No. Don't really care to see her either. But.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was thinking. They want to bring bring him into this, and I don't want him to lose interest in this.
Yeah.
It was something his dad was into, and it's something that he's been starting to get into, and I'd love to see him do that.
You got to get him just over the edge of the addiction portion into this part, and then he'll be fine.
Well, yeah, we got to take him on some trips. We got to get him out there on the trails.
Yeah.
I think another little option for that. Of course, he's going to be doing more desert wheeling out there. So the if he has to ever winch, it's more like land anchors and stuff. There's not a lot of trees, but you could go with a small Warren M6000 winch, the older ones. They're very lightweight, very fast. That would be a nice upgrade. But nothing looks better than a stand-up 8274.
Absolutely.
On a
old school classic.
Yeah, on a flat fender. So in the future, if he goes with the winch, I say 8274. Unless he already has one. I don't know if he has a winch or not. Yeah. I know his dad's old Jeep had a 8274 on it, but I don't know if he kept that or not. So that would be a nice little upgrade to do on there as well.
I think I'm wondering. I mean, the tires look pretty decent in the picture there. I don't know if you switch to the other set of axles, though. You might need different wheels. Might not work. But I mean,
this should be 15s. This should work out all right.
Yeah, I forgot those were that.
Yeah, they'd all be 15s back then. That should be fine. It looks like he's got maybe some 31 1050s
what do you think
or
for
something
suspension? On it. I mean, I know where my head goes with something like that all the time.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Well, no, I'm upgrade the springs. Those should be those like 1 3/4 ellipticals or even 1.5s.
Yeah, I mean, you can wheel on the old Willys axles like we were talking about. Problem is he already has a heavier transmission in it, and he has an engine that probably has twice the horsepower of the original flathead.
If nothing's been done, I mean,
the axle upgrade time is probably the way to go.
Yeah, that's what I say. If you're going to do axles, I mean, you're pretty much halfway to springs at that point.
I think keep it simple though, and don't try to get into coilovers and all that stuff.
I go right to YJ Springs with that.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Everywhere, they're simple. They're real easy to do.
Yep.
I mean, I'd go right to that.
Set a stock YJ Springs as a spring over.
That's exactly what my plan is with the Commando.
Yep.
And it's basically because I want to build something like that. I could never find one. I've got that, so that's kind of what my plan with it.
Yeah, I think you're talking with those. I think they're pretty short leaf. I think they're only like in the 48 or 46 inch range, something like that, which is good because they don't stick out too far in the front.
You can make it work with what's there though, which is nice.
Being that he's already got the Chevy engine in it too,
yeah.
There's an option there of maybe putting power steering on it if he wants.
Oh yeah.
Power steering would not be a bad upgrade. I don't know,
hydraulic
maybe
brakes.
It might already have power steering, but a hydraulic brake upgrade.
Especially with the discs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And go something like that. So brakes, steering, suspension. But these are all things I would say. The biggest advice I'd give them, if it works right now, use it as it is.
Use it till you break it.
Yeah, use it till you break it.
Yeah.
Upgrade only as necessary. I
first learned that.
Well, maybe me. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But even like with brakes, like let's say he decides that the brakes are, drums with 31s will work fine if he's going around town. But you can upgrade. You can go to like a dual master cylinder. So a little safety there.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do, I don't know the exact route it is, but I know that there's some write-ups online on how to use older Jeep Dana 30 stuff from like the old CJ5s and stuff to put disc brakes on the old MB axles. I don't know if it's a direct bolt on or if there's some welding or
There's
grinding.
one thing I've found with a lot of that, the amount of work required and the cost of the parts, you're almost better off just swapping the entire axle.
And then having everything the same, and that way you know.
So
like
ordered
let's say
parts for this year axle, if you start hodgepodging, these outers, these inners, and these guts, then you have to remember all of that. It just simplifies it, and your cost and installation. It just weld 2 spring perches and call it a day.
True. Yeah, so like if he ended up putting instead of Waggy axles on it, he could just go in and say, I need whatever for a 74 Wagoneer.
That's,
it's going to be...
At least in my research, that's what I've concluded with a lot of it. I mean, I was always the, piece and part together to build the best, but there's something to be said for simplicity with that and taking cost into account. I mean, I like that route. That's me personally.
Exactly. But, I was listening to that podcast with Bernie, and I was listening back to all the different adventures that we had and some of his builds as well. And pretty much all of his builds were simple as like that as well. He had leaf springs under his YJ with a Ford Dana 44 in the front and a 9-inch in the back. Different things that he did over the years were pretty simple builds, but they were stout, they were strong. Yeah. And I did notice though, I was sitting there and I was listening to all the various adventures, and I've never chronicled every single adventure that Bernie and I went on. But there's one that I'm not sure if I've ever chronicled on the show or not. It was definitely not in episode 77 though.
Yeah.
And if it was anywhere, it might have been in an after show. It might have, I don't know.
Those kind of stories.
But not a little bit, yeah. But it was one of the snow wheeling trips we were going on one year, and we were up. And I know I've told old friends about this, Wheelin' Friends, and I'm sure I've told you at some time or another. And I may have said this on the show too, but we've been doing the show long enough that people can, whatever.
Say this is episode 109.
109. Wow. So I was at the very back of a trail, and our buddy Todd was breaking trail, and Bernie was somewhere in the middle. I think he had his YJ with the Ford small block in it, and I was at the very back in a mostly stock S15 Jimmy on 33s. It had a body lift and the torsion bars were cranked, but that was it, open front and rear. So I was like the tail gunner. And I had a couple guys with me. One of them was a police officer, and one of them was I think my brother or somebody. I don't remember, but they were right up behind me, or we were right up in the back. Well, all of a sudden, we hear... Because Todd was on, by the way, Todd was wheeling. He was the trail breaker, and he was on 40s in a YJ with a, I think he had an LS motor. He's one of the first LS guys I knew. And he's up there just, going along. Might have been a 350 in it at the time or something, but he was just, going along and boom, boom, boom. And he was kind of getting stuck, So we're all just waiting. There's like 9, 10, 11, Jeeps mostly, maybe a couple Chevys and Fords and stuff, but rigs out there on the trail.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're all stopped, and I hear somebody coming up the trail behind us at a high rate of speed, like, woo, 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 and I'm like, whoa, what's going on, And a stock S10 Blazer pulls up behind us, and I'm talking like on 235 street tires,
like wrong turned off the highway.
Yeah. And old one from the 80s, old square body one, and we go up to the to the guys, and they roll down the window, and there's 3 guys in this thing, and they are drunk, drunk, and we're in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and the one guy's like, we're running for beer, and we got lost. We're trying to get to, do you know how to get to so-and-so liquor store? And we're, no, we don't. And, all right. He's like, well, so would you guys mind getting out of our way? We think we need to go this way. No, there's like 4 foot of snow up there, buddy. You're not going to get your S10 Blazer through it. Yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is the way we got to go. Just get out of our way. And we're like,
okay.
Dude, we're not going to be able to get out of your way, Oh, okay. So he finally turns around. and he drives away. Well, about 10 minutes later, we hear, and all of a sudden this thing hits a snowbank on the side of the trail, like a little mound of dirt or whatever. The guys go sky high. They jump this thing. They're probably every bit of 10 foot off the ground, flying through the air, and they land in the ditch right next to the trail that I'm like right next to my Blazer. Just bam, bury the thing right up, snow right up to the bottom of the windows. Hood's level with the ground.
Nice.
And I'm like, I run over there and I'm like, what the hell? What are you guys doing? Oh, we figured we just jump over you. Or like, I'm like, what? I'm like, this is not Dukes of Hazzard. And he's like, oh, he thought it would work, you know? Like you guys, so we're yelling at him. We're not like me. And so and I'm yelling at this guy. I'm like, you could have killed some people, blah, 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 you know? And they're just so drunk they're oblivious. Yeah. Well, one guy lights up a joint way before it was legal, you know, so they're all passing a joint around. Next thing you know, my cop buddy that's riding with us goes over there and he flashes his badge and he says, I think we're going to take all you guys in. And they're like, oh man, what? You know? And so there was all this talk about just like throwing some snow on top of the Blazer and just leaving them there and let them find them in the spring. But all of a sudden Bernie comes along. And because he had kind of heard some commotion, and he comes walking down because he was up maybe 5 or 6 vehicles, you know. Yeah. And he comes walking back, and he pops his head into the Blazer, and he's like, so and so, I don't remember, Dan or whatever, I don't remember the name, but and the guy's like, oh hey, and then the other guy's like, oh hey, cousin Bernie, how you doing? he literally one of the guys, some dude he like went to high school with, and the other one was like his cousin or something, I don't, or some family member. And so we pulled these guys out, and Bernie's like, listen, you guys gotta go back that way. And he points away from us, and he's like, just sleep it off. Or I asked him later on, I'm like, did they ever, go missing or anything? He's like, no, they were fine, But
well, that's good to know.
I wonder how long they were out wandering around in the woods on their beer run.
I wonder how long until they got the beer. I mean, that's the real shame of the story right there. And if you're that bad you can't find more beer, that's just a bad time.
So, but yeah, that was a Bernie story that I had not shared on episode 77, and I was like, man, all the memories flooded back of all the fun things we did over the years. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. I didn't know him that well. Yeah, I'd only met him a few times, but, just through online interactions, talking to him through you and through this and everything, and that was one of those, it really hit me.
Yeah.
Like more so than a lot of that has in the last few years.
Exactly.
And it really bummed me out that day.
It did. Actually, as another, I don't want to say an honorable mention, it's just another mention, that exact same day that he passed away, another old friend of mine passed away. His name was Marty McGrath, and he owned Southside Towing. He was also one of the original founding members of the Southwater Rescue Dive Team here.
Oh, wow.
And, he passed away, leaving his, I'm just going to say wife, who I went to high school with. I don't know if they're married or not, but they were together forever, and kids. And, he did, it was COVID with him, but he was fine 3 weeks prior, and
Jeez.
So yeah, just one of those things, man. Bad day that day.
Yeah, for sure.
So and he was always a great tow truck guy around here in town. He was he owns, like I said, owns Southside Towing, and so, but I guess I still have a little. I don't want you pouring anymore, but
I regret I did a second
to Bernie and Marty.
Absolutely, rest in peace, sirs.
Yes. One thing Bernie always wanted to come down to, it's by the way, this is not terrible. It's not great, though.
When it's watered down, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with this one. It's too smoky. I love smoky, but this is too smoky.
This is Ardbeg.
Yeah, Ardbeg.
You don't need to read the whole label.
No,
Ardbeg. Ardbeg. I think it's Ardbeg.
No, it's Ardbeg.
Oh, Ardbeg. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Wee Beastie is this one. It's a 5-year Islay single malt Scotch whiskey.
Oof.
Yep.
Here, pour me another finger of it. One thing Bernie always wanted to come down to was Wheels in the Woods, and never had the opportunity. He was planning on trying to get here one year for it.
Yeah.
And I got thinking about that today, and I was trying to remember something. And I know our listeners, we talked about Wheels in the Woods and all the things that happened, but there was something I was unclear about. You had won an award, but then we had a guy there that thought he won the award or something. Like, explain to me what happened.
So I I don't think I ever entered even a category. I just put it out there. The gentleman, because we did paid categories, and then if somebody voted you for something else, you got that anyways. So the gentleman that had entered, I can't remember which category it was, but he did not win the one that he entered. He won a different category and was a little upset with that one.
So you won the category he had entered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was upset about it, and then you...
Because he got a different one. Yeah.
And he was upset that he got the wrong... Oh, and so you just gave him your award.
Yeah.
Which was...
It was close enough, so...
It was big-hearted about you, John. Yeah. It really was, and we really appreciate it. I was just wondering, I couldn't remember exactly what had happened there, but I knew there was a mishap there, so we had to take care of something here.
Oh.
So we needed to make sure that you did get your award, so here's yours, John.
What'd you do for it? Oh. All right, that is awesome.
What?
So this wasn't even an applicable category.
What do you mean that wasn't an applicable category?
Favorite green Jeep powered by a Mercedes diesel. Awesome. Well, on behalf of myself and the green Jeep,
there you go. You had the best green Jeep powered by a Mercedes.
Oh, that is awesome.
So, folks, John will probably put it on 4x4 Talk or something. But we had a couple plaques that were missing, and when I got talking to the laser market,
cool.
I said, "Hey, can you make me one more while you're at it?" So
I'll get a picture. So it'll be dark when we leave here tonight, but I'll get a picture tomorrow of her with the Jeep and post that up there.
Yeah, we should have that category every year. And then if you get blown out on it, I'm just gonna laugh.
Oh, I would too.
Laugh.
I would. That would be... So actually, on that note, she is back on the road. She's been off for a while.
I saw that pulled in the driveway.
We had some real fun vehicle kind of what would you call it, musical chairs with my vehicles at home the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I saw your other Jeep got crushed.
Yeah, my mom's. So 2019 Grand Cherokee. Driving home from dinner one night, her and my dad, a pine tree in the driveway fell. About an 8-inch diameter pine tree smoked the windshield. Destroyed the driver's side mirror, didn't blow the windshield out, but destroyed the whole thing, bent both the A-pillars, knocked the rearview mirror off.
They totaling it, or?
No, it's in the body shop now. We still don't, it's been in there 4 or 5 days. We still don't have a complete estimate yet.
Yeah, well, a lot of shops will not straighten their A-pillars anymore.
Yeah, and that's what they're gonna look at everything, because that's it's got all those side airbags and everything, and that's all stored there.
Did it blow any airbags?
Thankfully, no.
Oh, okay.
No, but so while Pegasus was out of commission, I've been driving my dad's Jeep.
Did your mom have to get the seats deep cleaned?
No, nothing like that. No, I mean there are shards of glass all over the dashboard and everywhere, though. Oof. I mean, it's nasty. Well, like I said, I've been driving my dad's Jeep because the truck had some issues. We fixed that. Was a starter and the battery. So truck's all set. Still got the gas leak and the exhaust leak. When you're at a stop sign, you got to roll the windows down. Just, no carbon monoxide.
Flick your cigarette out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So with her vehicle down, they needed his car. So it was one of those, like the last day or two I was driving his Jeep for work. He was driving the truck. Truck blew a brake line.
Oh, jeez.
We didn't know at the time if it was a hard line, soft line, what or where. So last week, one of the only days I had off, we had a couple guys sick at work. So I've been working a lot the last couple weeks at work and then on vehicles. I've barely touched Project XJ, but I got Pegasus back on the road, got the truck fixed, took a whole day and got all that set up and done. So I have my vehicle back again, and my God, I miss driving that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got to try and start getting back on XJ. Said everything from the rear seats forward on the floor is welded in. So it's pretty much rear section and then some paint stuff underneath. A little bit of reassembly. I mean, it's getting real close.
Good. Glad to hear it,
I'm starting
man.
to free space up on my floor because I'm putting stuff in it now.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Upgraded all the garage lighting. I'm all LED out there now.
Nice.
Yep, so if anybody needs some 8-foot halogens, let me know, or fluorescent, whatever they're called.
Just play lightsabers in the driveway.
Yeah, exactly. I got tons of bulbs and 3 fixtures. You can have them.
No, I'm saying you need to play lightsabers in the driveway.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'd rather be working in the garage.
Oh, all right. Well,
I had, so this past Saturday there, we had some time to work out there. Nice power fluctuations, flickering on and off all day. Just crazy, insane wind, so couldn't do anything out there that day. Fun. So you've heard of the company called Summit, right?
Yeah. Hang on. Did that tree go down in the windstorm on your mom's car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was during
Yep.
that.
Yep. Not Saturday. It was like that one, but a couple days before.
That
up
would have
there.
been interesting if what happened in your Jeep.
I don't want to know. There's a lot of rust. I'd probably have the engine on the ground.
I'm just saying if it would have came down on your windshield frame, there wouldn't have been no John.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible. Yeah, because that's fiber. Wow. Yeah. That's oof. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
And my mom mentioned, if there was a nice pointy stick on one end of that or something, or waited a few
Was it a
seconds.
dead pine tree?
I think it was dead. Yeah, it was
you need
dead.
to start trimming some of the dead ones out of there.
Oh, we have been over the years. We didn't catch that one, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, usually we'll see them, they'll lean before they fall, but a couple summers ago we had, I think 3 or 4 of them we had taken down.
Insurance may even deny it being a dead tree.
I don't know on that one.
They've done that before to people.
Really?
Yeah, both houses and car damage if the tree was dead.
Oh, wow.
And they've said, no, you neglected to basically
I don't know on that
maintain.
one. Yeah.
Oh.
I'd have to look at it again.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was dead. I mean, if it were alive, all the others would have fallen next to it too. But, yeah, no. So I ordered a wheel from Summit, and there's one bit of good news towards the end of this.
You got the Ronald Bears.
The what?
The what?
The Ronald? The who?
The Ronald Bear wheels?
What is that?
Keep going, keep going.
Okay. So ordered a wheel to match ones I already had. I get one. It's supposed to be a brand new wheel. Open the box, and you can very clearly see a label on the wheel that's been painted over. So they sent me a reconditioned wheel.
Okay.
Not only that, so it's a soft 8 pattern. There's 8 holes in it. They're all different diameter than they're supposed to be. So called them. Oh my God, that is awesome. Oh my God, I want them. Do they make them in a 15 by 8, 4.5 pattern?
I don't know.
Find out. That's awesome.
So anyways, folks, look up Ronald Bear wheels. I don't know if they make them anymore,
Might
but
need to spell that.
they're RONAL. They make wheels that look like a teddy bear.
That's
Ooh,
awesome.
they have other ones like this too.
Oh my God.
They're so cute. Anyways, so
Do they come in steel?
oh God, if you ran those.
If I could get those in black and they're not much more than what I already have, I'd probably do it.
All right. Well, I did see somebody that did this to the Ronald Bear wheels.
It's awesome.
They made evil ones with red eyes. They like painted them. So yeah.
Nice. So, anyways, so they sent me a new one. Replacement under warranty. I
Yeah.
get that one. I open the box. There's about a 1-foot-long gouge in the middle of the wheel, gouging straight right through the paint to the metal.
You're not bad mouthing Summit, are you? Because we
No.
could definitely have them be a sponsor. In
I
the
was
future.
irritated with it, but this is kind of where it is. Just about 2/3 of the gouge is right where the tire bead sits, so
Okay.
it wouldn't seal.
All right.
Sent me labels to send them back.
All right.
So they took care of the problem. They're refunding me on it, and they took care of it.
So 2 separate wheels.
2 separate wheels.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was going to go for a third, but it's like at this point, I'll find one elsewhere.
Okay.
But they took care of that. And I even told the guy on the phone, it's like, I know this isn't you. I'll definitely still shop at Summit. I mean, they get stuff to me so fast. Now, we're in Michigan. They're just across the border in Ohio. Mm-hmm. But I've ordered stuff and gotten it next day, which is insane.
Yeah, it's
and
like Amazon
awesome.
Prime of car stuff.
Exactly. I love it. And I greatly appreciate that and everything they did with it, taking care of it, and just how fast their shipping is. It's awesome. So I'll definitely be ordering from them again, just not wheels.
This is a wheel for the.
For Project XJ.
Oh, okay.
Because I want the full size, full spare, because I rotate 5.
Okay.
And I'm going to just have to probably not do that on this one.
Yeah. No.
So, but I've got some extra wheels, so I'll have a spare. It just probably won't get rotated in, which is a bit of a bummer, but whatever.
Did you see I was doing some work on Project Excursion?
I didn't. I saw you did something to the back end of it.
You like that?
I was confused because I honestly thought it was a joke when I saw it on Facebook, but no, it's very real. That is awesome. So, what in the world happened to cause you to do that?
So, this is in a little over a year. This is my second back window blown out by one of my laborers.
Jeez.
First one was blown out because he slammed the doors in the wrong order.
Oh, fantastic.
Put the hatch down, then slammed the bottom doors. This one, it was a 15-degree day, and my guy slammed the upper hatch, and it just shattered. So I was working over 2 hours away out in Howell.
Ooh,
and
that's a drive.
It was 15 degrees, and I was gutting out an old ice cream store, so I cut out the door to their kitchen and their aluminum swing door and used asbestos abatement tape and taped the thing to the back.
Awesome.
And then today I ended up putting a couple drywall screws in it to hold it even better because Saturday I was supposed to have an appointment to have my window replaced.
Okay.
And I'm not going to name names here, but I'm gonna bitch about customer service a little bit myself here too. So I'd called around a bunch of different places, and quote unquote localish Michigan company that is not let's just say it's a company that if you were a Bigfoot you might want to hang out with them. They you got it, didn't you?
I didn't actually.
Okay. Anyways,
I'm trying to think of it, but
so,
I can't think of one.
Anyways, I called Safe Light and a bunch of other ones. They all want like $400 for the back window.
They repair and replace, don't they? Safe Light?
Safe Light repair, Safe Light replace. Jerk.
Sorry.
Anyways, so
Not for you.
anyways, so I called this other place, Bigfoot hangout place, and Bigfoot hangout. Is like, yeah, $280. And I says, great. I says, can you do it on one of my job sites? And they said, no, we need you to bring it in. And I says, okay. I said, do you have Saturday appointments? The lady's like, yeah, no problem. Saturday, can you do 11 o'clock? I said, 11 o'clock is great. Sounds good. I'll see you 11 o'clock on Saturday. So probably about 4:45 on Friday, I get a call from her. And she goes, oh, sir, I'm so sorry. We have a problem with your window for your appointment tomorrow. And I says, what's that? And she goes, well, it came in and it's got some blemishes on it. And I says, is it broken? She goes, no. And I says, you know what? I says, great. I says, you give me a discount on it because it's just a work truck. I don't care if it's got some blemishes on the window. We already sent it back. I says, oh, okay. I says, so you got a new one for me? Yeah, but it won't be in till probably Tuesday. So we need to reschedule the appointment. I said, okay, great. Let's do it next Saturday then. And she goes, oh, well, you see, I talked to the tech, and it's going to take a little longer than 2 hours, and we need you to come out on a weekday and have it the whole day. I'm like, I go, this is my work truck. I go, I can't just drop it off for a whole day and miss a day of work right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm sorry, that's just, we can't, we're trying not to work on Saturdays right now. I'm like, really? You went from, yes, we have Saturday appointments, to then what sounded like a blatant lie about the window. I think they just lied to me about the window so they could try to get it in. Because, if you had a blemished window and you just got it in and you already sent it back, this is a little fishy to me. It's like,
yeah, completely.
So I just was like, you know what? I'll either put another hatch on it or whatever, but... So right now I have an aluminum kitchen door that has a little tiny window in it.
Just say you do have a window.
I do, yeah. Although the wiper's on the wrong side, but hey, screwed to the back of my truck. But
that's awesome.
It's not noisy. It's there, and I frankly don't even care right now. I
understand.
So that's just where I am. So that was, and then I also replaced the busted headlight in it. Finally, housing.
I keep needing to do that with mine. Anytime I pull up to something with a flat surface and turn my lights on, it's like, oh, yeah, I should replace that. That one's like dead.
Yeah,
it's not off.
The way the Ford ones
but it's
are,
almost dead.
The way the Ford ones are, they have this weird like ball click thing in there where you have to take the whole header panel off, and I didn't feel like doing that, so I just use packaging tape to put it in. But yeah, nice. I'm that guy. My car now has at least 300 yards of tape on it in different places. So.
I don't, unless you count electrical tape on wiring. Mine doesn't have any. I just deal with air leaks.
Hey, automotive news for Excursion owners, though. We have talked before on the podcast about how one of the Achilles heels of the Ford Excursion is that they rust out in the rockers and the dog legs.
Yeah.
And you can get the rockers because they're the same as the Super Duties, but you couldn't get the dog legs because the dog legs are different because of the shape of the door. A company, and I don't know the name of the company, started reproducing them, and they came to market about 2 months ago.
Nice.
They're already sold out.
Holy crap.
And so they all say they're back ordered for more production because,
Wow.
apparently there was, but they're finally out. You don't have to modify F-250 ones. You don't have to make things out of fiberglass.
Nice.
You can actually get weld-in steel, replacement
nice.
dog leg. So it's one of the things that might make me actually fix mine now instead, because now I can actually get the parts instead of having
So you're not quitting out on the other project, are you?
Which one?
I don't remember what we ever decided to name it.
The Super Duty?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I did get a little work towards it this week.
Oh.
I did.
I see the transmission looks like it's moved about an inch.
No, I think it's in the same spot.
Oh.
But no, the parts truck, the 12-valve truck.
Yeah.
I had a guy call me up and he wanted to buy the radiator, the intercooler, a bunch of other stuff from it, and so from the front of the truck. And so now I'm pretty much at that point where I could probably have that motor pulled in an hour and a half.
Oh, nice.
It's just sitting there. The trans is out of it.
Nice.
Exhaust is disconnected. I just need to disconnect some wiring. I need to lift up the body because on those 12-valve trucks, you actually have to lift the body up about 2 inches to get the motor out.
Yeah, torch the frame rails. It'll be fine.
I mean, we'll figure it out. Yeah, one of the ways I'm going to do it, but I've done a few of those trucks, so they're pretty easy. So yeah, I've actually prepped and then done work in the garage to get.
Yeah, I saw the door. Very nice, by the way.
Yeah, and I have a side door in my garage.
Yeah.
You like that? So,
Yeah.
So
Is this what adulting is? Getting excited about like adding a door to a building?
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's like when you're 22-year-old car guy, you're like, yeah, me and my buddies, we built a drag car, a complete off-road rig in a weekend with 2 hours of sleep and a case of Busch Light. And these days you're like,
It's pretty efficient if it only took him a case.
yeah, I know.
Jeez.
These weeks you're like, well, let's see. Last week I got the brake job done on the left side of the vehicle.
But only the front.
Exactly.
Yeah, been there.
Yep. So Michigan winters too, man. But
Yeah. That's my thing. Some of the cold.
it is.
We have the garage door insulated now. Finally, just some of those styrofoam panels, and then my dad and I spent probably an hour adjusting the door so it's actually sealed against it.
Okay.
Holy crap! Is it warm in there now? Like just with no air leaks, the whole garage is like outside. You see your breath, you go in, nothing. So that little bit of heater running for half hour, you can take your jacket off now. It's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, it's really nice working in there. Like I said a few weeks ago when I was out there without ventilation, breathing in zinc welded
Nice.
parts. Yeah, so that part sucks.
Yeah.
So this next portion of welding, I'm definitely doing with the door open.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that was really stupid on my part. Definitely felt the repercussions from that. I don't want to deal with that again. No. So, yeah, this next section, though, will take care of most of what I have left to do. And then there's just one little section. It's going to be a little bit of welding on the last section, but then it's done.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's not even funny. Like, actually seeing
Have you fired it
progress.
up yet?
Not yet, but once I get the right side of the rear cargo area there done, I'll be able to start actually putting everything back in underneath except the fuel tank.
Okay.
Because I got a little bit more to do on that side or the other side of the floor that's above it. And then I can finish the fuel system.
Perfect.
So, yeah, it's really exciting actually seeing and realizing, oh, I can get these 3 pieces welded in and I can get all this other stuff done. I'm so excited.
Nice. Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
very excited.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to work on stuff too. Like I said, I've got heat in the garage now too.
Oh, nice.
I've got, just that kind of thing. Still trying to work on the barn. I salvaged a bunch of stuff this last week for the barn project,
Nice.
and so I'm moving forward. It just time, money, mostly time right now.
Yeah, I had some of those training classes at work. I'm done with those until like February right now. And that was only because I had to reschedule one of the classes, which not happy about it, but it worked out. And I'm owed a few favors at work now for covering, so I'm okay with that.
Well, and then I'm busy at our annual Christmas walk, but at the same point...
I forgot about that. Yeah, how's that going?
Oh, it's going good. Lots of
Nice.
people coming down. Lots of people coming down through the museum. We're not busing from the museum anymore, but we are doing the Christmas sale at the museum for people
Nice.
who are interested in purchasing Christmas items up front. Museum's getting very packed as well because we of course have the 2 new displays in there. We've got the Derby car, and then we now have the hovercraft, which has all been cleaned up, shined up, and is sitting in there. So
I'll have to come check that out, cleaned up.
yep, she looks real nice. We're going to move things around a little bit more, though. I think we're going to take and put the hovercraft behind the Willys because they're basically from the same era. And then move the hit and miss engine off to another area, and then I think we might be moving in a certain little pickup truck that maybe we'll talk about in the next episode.
I like it.
At least until we have a little bit more time.
I don't know about this, do I?
Maybe. We'll find out.
That one? Okay. All right, yeah.
Which one?
The one out there?
The one from there?
Sure.
Folks, you're going to have to figure out next week.
Yeah, I'm trying to register where we're at in here in relation to the outdoors at the moment.
Speaking of the museum, if you folks are interested in finding out more information about the Museum of Off-Road Adventure, you can go to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Museum of Off-Road Adventure. You can also go to themora.org. There's not a lot of stuff on our website right now, but we are trying to build it up. I would like to remind everyone that being the holiday season and, of course, year-round, if you are shopping, to use Amazon Smile. If you are going on Amazon for all of your purchases, it costs you absolutely nothing versus using the regular Amazon. So from your app, it would be Amazon Smile. From a laptop or a desktop computer, it's going to be smile.amazon.com. And the way that works is every purchase that you make, Amazon turns around and gives, I think it's 0.5% to something like that to a
it adds up quick,
nonprofit of your choice. And they have to be a nonprofit that is registered with Amazon Smile. The Museum of Off-Road Adventure is registered with Amazon Smile. And so all you have to do when you go onto the Amazon Smile is type in Museum of Off-Road Adventure. It'll come right up. Click it as your selected charity. If you're not going to select us, at least select someone, because it's free money to 501c3 nonprofits. It doesn't cost you a thing. But we would like it if you chose us. And you can do that. And we've already gotten several $100s over the last couple of years from Amazon Smile. And if you could, become another donator to the museum that way, we would greatly appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And like I said, we are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram through the Museum of Off-Road Adventure. John, what do you got?
Yep, Facebook as well. 4x4 Talk. Look the group up there. That's us. Kind of interact with the other listeners. Check some build pictures out. If you got a question, ask it. I'm not terribly active on Facebook anymore. I know Keith's on there a little more often than I am.
Facebook jail, got it.
No, not yet. Not this time.
All right.
Oh, yeah, so check that out there. A couple quick questions get you on the page. We are still on Patreon, patreon.com/WheelinRadio. And I did kind of do a soft launch on the Podbean. So I did update it. It's got some pricing information there now. It's still set just a little bit high. So if you want to do it, that'd be great. It's going to help us out. I'm going to probably bring it down just a little bit once I get the other files up there. But I think there's 5 or 6 of our most recent episodes are available on Podbean Premium now.
Sweet.
And then there's more coming. So I got in touch with Andrew briefly the other day. Unable to meet up with him to get the files, but once I get that hard drive of all of our podcast files from the after show, I'm going to start tweaking a little bit of that, get that all updated on both websites, and we will be dual streaming on both of those. So that's exciting, at least to me, because I like things all being neat and order.
Absolutely.
So I think that's all I got.
All right, man.
There's nothing else I do, is there?
Well, you do have a typical sign-off.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways,
the end of the show.
You always say thanks for listening and have a good one, everybody.
I know, I was getting to that.
All right, but what I would like to say, a little bit different on this episode, going back to episode 77, which, by the way, I just remembered, it was actually about a year ago we talked to Bernie, because Andrew, the producer, was on that episode.
Oh, was he?
And
okay.
He had just had a little boy who is now having a 1-year birthday this upcoming weekend. So happy birthday, Declan.
Absolutely.
So it has been about a year since. So I said July earlier in the show. It was probably about this time last year. But when we talked to him.
Yeah.
But anyways, on that show, we talked about Bernie and vets and all of the things that he did for vet administrations and vets that were needing counseling and things like that. And, one of the things that he said on that show, because he gave advice for vets that were still overseas, and I'm hoping this is what Bernie did with his life. And this is how I want to sign this one off.
This one's all you, sir.
All right. Do the job. Get home safe.